out there from around the world. Welcome to the morning stream, the very best way to start your nerdy day. It's gonna be a good Monday, folks. We've got some very big news to talk about. We're gonna talk about what Mark Ruffalo said about Hulk and She-Hulk and Hulk in the future of the MCU. Holy crap. You're gonna want to hear about that. We're talking some Shang Chi, man. Set photo. Simu Liu himself drops a photograph on the social media from the set of Shang Chi. That's going to be fascinating to go over. There's some little teases and tidbits in there. I want to show you guys what's really going on with that photograph. Also going to talk about the rumors of what Shang Chi is going to be about. We've had a lot of these rumors coming out. So I want to break down the most recent stuff, talk about what we think will be in this movie. I'm pretty hyped for it. Executive producer Maverick Pilgrim is joining me a little bit later in the show. It's going to be really cool. Can't wait to hear what he's got to say about some of this stuff. And a very big, very special Den of Nerds announcement for the month of March. Woo! Woo, baby! I'm telling you. We're going to have a good month. We got some really cool stuff going on. What is up, Den of Nerds family? I see you guys in here. I see James, Captain Pennsylvania, Justin, Renee, Wavy Dave, Coachella, Roy Boy, Mavericks in the building, Dan the man. Oh, man, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day, folks. Hope you are excited to get into this stream. How's it going, Trevor says? It's going, man. It is going. It's going to be a good week. Guys, we're finally in March. We're finally in March. That means we've actually got some interesting stuff that we can go over. Finally some actual big news. We've got this announcement coming out on the 5th. We've got CinemaCon at the end of the month. We've got Bloodshot coming out. Should have a Venom 2 trailer, perhaps. Should have another Black Widow trailer. It's actually going to be a pretty impactful month, okay? But I want to just get right into the craziest news. There's some really crazy stuff going on here, guys, in the world, and I want to get right into it, okay? Chat, pause the music. Let's talk about this. It's the craziest news of the day. Yo, this news is crazy. Here it is, folks. Shang Chi. We've heard that it's been filming in Australia, though it's been very secretive. Okay, we've heard that, but it's been very secretive. Here's the official first sign that, yes, indeed, Shang-Chi is shooting. This is Simu Liu from his trailer on the set of Shang-Chi. And I gotta show you some stuff here. I gotta show you. Guys, do you have any idea what this means? Do you see the Easter eggs and the teasers? Do you see it? Look, I'll show you, okay? If you don't see it, that's fine. I'll show you. If you look over here, see what these are? Do you see that over there, okay? You let me know. I want to know who's the first person that actually gets this and understands what's going on. So check that out, okay? Check that out. Do you see what that says? And then up here, do you know what this is? Can you figure it out? Do you see what they're teasing? Okay, so those two things, and then if you look back here, you can see the important third part, okay? Do you see? And then what's on the back of his phone? Yep. And then what's up with this chick's left eye? Uh-huh. Yep. And then over here, this wig. You see where I'm going with this? It means nothing! There's nothing to it, guys. It's just a set photograph. It proves that, of course, yes, Shang-Chi is officially shooting. But that's pretty much all that it means. That's the news. So yeah, that's what we got going on. But in all seriousness, when it comes to Shang-Chi, we do know some things that are going on with Shang-Chi. It is cool that it's actually shooting. Okay, I am actually pumped that it is actually shooting. It's not delayed. We've been hearing many things about this Shang-Chi movie. I wanted to go over with you guys some of these rumors and talk about what we think of these here rumors, okay? So, first thing, of course, there is this rumor that his dad, Shang-Chi's dad, Chet, pause the music. I know, I get it. Look, here's the deal. Let's talk about Shang-Chi. Let's talk about the rumors, the various things that we've heard about it. At this point, everything we've heard about it is rumor. Obviously, nothing is confirmed, but, you know, we've been getting some confirmation of these things from the Marvel scoopers out there, and so I want to go over it here. Number one, his father is likely going to be the Mandarin. That's the real Mandarin, not the Trevor Slattery character that is in Iron Man 3. Okay, Ben Kingsley played that role. Obviously, he was not the real Mandarin, but the real Mandarin was teased at the end of that movie. We've talked about this ever since the casting sheet came out for the Elder Statesman role, okay? They would appear, and this is, again, a rumor, but it's been talked about by a lot of different insiders and a lot of different people on the social medias. The rumor is that they are going to hybridize and sort of combine the Mandarin character from the comic books and the actual father of Shang-Chi from the comic books, who was a character of Fu Manchu, okay? And for obvious reasons, they're changing that. He's not going to be Fu Manchu anymore, but they're going to instead do a combination of those two characters, okay? Now, that's going to be really interesting. Now, his sister is also going to be in this movie, okay? Now, she's going to be possibly played by Awkwafina. This is kind of like what the rumor is, possibly played by Awkwafina, and she will be sort of an adversary of Shang-Chi in the film and in this tournament. It's also rumored that Shang-Chi will have worked at MI6. He will be an MI6 James Bond type person, but he's left MI6, okay? He's no longer with them, but they're getting him back for one last job. So the one last job trope when it comes to Shang-Chi, and this one last job is apparently going to be a blood sport type underground martial arts tournament in which Shang-Chi will battle various people from the MCU, maybe Batroc the Leaper, we've heard. We've heard rumors of maybe even Iron Fist, the new MCU version of Iron Fist. But essentially, he's going to be at this tournament fighting to figure out what is going on and what the Mandarin's grand plan is. The Mandarin obviously doing something nefarious. It is rumored he is the person that puts on this tournament. There were some of the rumors talking about how the person that wins the tournament will get the rings, the 10 rings that the Mandarin has, okay? And there's also been some recent rumors that Fin Fang Foom, this shape-shifting alien that takes the form of an ancient dragon on Earth, a dragon with absolutely incredible purple shorts, might show up in the movie as well. And so this is either fan fiction created by super nerds that have been reading my diary, or this is the perfect formula for my next favorite MCU film. It is going to be a James Bond / One Last Job type of film meets Bloodsport and or Dragon Ball Z-esque tournament with tons of different people from the MCU. Maybe some obscure characters. We heard maybe WizKid is going to be in this tournament, right? Super obscure mutant type character. And Shang-Chi is going to be battling in this martial arts tournament to try to figure out what the Mandarin, who will be his father, is going to be. It's like a Shakespearean thing going on with his father and his sister, who's a very powerful combatant, and possibly even his brother or something that he's going to have to fight in the tournament. And he's fighting through all of that so that he can either win these 10 rings or thwart the Mandarin from doing something with this tournament to be able to have access to Fin Fang Foom and take over the world. So you've got a James Bond One Last Job story going into a blood sport type Dragon Ball Z tournament story meets magical alien rings and a dragon? Like, am I crazy to think that this sounds absolutely amazing? So, look, who knows for sure. Some of this stuff is being reported as rumor, but there's been a lot of plot leaks that talk about this being the plot of Shang-Chi. And if it's even close to that, I am totally down. The only thing I'm confused about is the ending, and also what is the goal of the Mandarin? Like, why? Like, is he really going to put on a tournament to give away the 10 rings? There's no way he's actually going to give away those rings. And how does the tournament lead to his plan being enacted and him possibly meeting Fin Fang Foom and taking over the world? I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know how it's all going to fit together. But all the pieces that we have so far seem absolutely incredible to me. And so I want to know. I definitely want to know what you guys think about Shang-Chi. Let me know. Let's go into chat. And then I am also going to bring in executive producer Maverick Pilgrim. And we're going to talk about this a little bit too. But guys, let me know in chat. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about everything we just said when it comes to Shang-Chi? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Chet, you screwed that one up, my friend. Okay, let's bring in Maverick. Mav, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Morning. Monday
What do you
morning. How we
think?
doing?
Oh, we're doing, baby. How I want to know, man. We were talking a little bit off air about this, but how excited are you for Das Shang-Chi?
Man, I'm super pumped for Chang Chi enough to not say it properly on a Monday morning. It's West Coast out here, so it's earlier.
Oh, yeah, so you're up mighty early. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Um, I really think that the whole motif, you'd think that Black Widow would bring in the spy kind of thing, but I feel like that's a brand of spy that we've already had. Shang-Chi brings in, if this plot leak, if this idea is correct, the new MI6 connection, the underground kind of thing, it brings back that spy mystery back in, but then also adds in some classic kung fu, and I love me some classic kung fu. I think it's going to really add a whole new dynamic to the MCU.
Dude, yeah. I honestly, it's weird because from what we're hearing, it doesn't seem to really be connected too much as far as like it's not going to be tying into these other movies. There's no like other huge Avengers characters that are going to be in this. From what we're hearing, it's just basically the cast of Shang-Chi, and then we'll possibly meet some familiar Marvel faces during the tournament, which would be really, really cool. What do you think about the rumor that they're going to bring in a new Iron Fist for Shang-Chi? Is that something you'd be into, or what do you think about that?
I know there's been a lot of discontent with the old Iron Fist. He was Netflix TV.
Yeah,
He was I feel like he was an introduction for Netflix into like the mystic kind of stuff, and I don't know if it's the actor or the writing or combination or everything else. Uh,
it was
I don't know
Scott
that
Buck.
there's a yeah yeah. I don't know if there's a lot of love for the Iron Fist. I just feel like they're gonna have to make it real clear, real quick, how that continuity works somehow when they start bringing in other characters. Um, I don't know that they're gonna bring in Iron Fist this time.
Well, here's the one reason that I could kind of buy it is that Iron Fist is really one of Feige's favorite characters. So he really likes that character a lot. There's like old interviews you can dig up where he's like really into that. And I know like, here's my thing. I think that they're just ignoring Netflix completely. And I think that's pretty obvious with the fact that they brought in Mahershala Ali to play Blade, right? So that pretty much kills that whole continuity. I think we're getting a new MCU Daredevil. I think we're getting a new MCU Jessica Jones. I think any connective tissue, like, we've sort of talked about this before, but it's super not Feige's style to have lingering tissue, right? Like lingering connective tissue between them. I don't really think that's the direction and the way that they're going to go with that. So it's possible that they do Iron Fist. I think that it would work within the timing too, because one of the concerns was that they had a 2-year grace period with Netflix where they had to not use that character, right, for 2 years. And I believe that grace period would be lifted by the time Shang-Chi came out. So, I mean, signs point to it happening. What do you think about Fin Fang Foom, man? Like having a big old dragon in this movie as well. What do you think? Do you think that could totally work? Will that be too wild?
Man, after Guardians, after Endgame, I think anything can work in the MCU. It just has to be written properly.
Yeah.
You can't just have some psychedelic dragon show up, uh, be Shang-Chi's, shoulder angel or something. And
I would love that actually, like from Mulan.
yeah. Oh, you could do that actually. Never mind. You could do that. I think some of these fantastical things. I mean, we got a talking raccoon doing really emotional scenes.
Yeah.
I think the MCU can do whatever it wants. Shang-Chi just may, if all the rumors they're talking about all come in, they got to be really careful that they don't do a Spider-Man 3 and just throw a ton of stuff in, cameo something important, and then sort of leave it in the back. It almost feels like they are building out Shang-Chi to be a side universe is the wrong word, but a sort of a side gig like they did with Guardians. When Guardians came out, Guardians had zero connective tissue, and now they're pretty connected. Yep. So I think they're probably doing something like that, and then you'll probably have something similar with mutants. It'll be like a side thing, and then they'll come together.
Yeah,
like that. So that's what it seems like the build out is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's possible too that there's going to be maybe some kind of a post-credit scene going on. I think Shang-Chi is going to join the Avengers. I mean, that's why, I think that's pretty clear that we're setting up characters in Phase 4 that will become a part of the new Avengers. And, that's why he's got the assemble thing on his phone. And I just think that makes a lot of sense, right? Going that route and doing the Avengers thing. So maybe a post-credit scene or something to be able to sort of tie that together, because I think otherwise you run the risk of just it being confusing for people and them seeing no way that it gets there. So maybe
you need your Nick Fury moment, somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hopefully at the end, man, or at the end of the film or something, maybe there's an Avengers character or somebody connected to the Avengers that's in the tournament. That could be really cool. Like Bucky or something, like just out of nowhere or something crazy like that would be really sweet. But yeah, man, in general, Shang-Chi, I think going to be one of the dopest MCU movies that we've had in a long time. I love Kung Fu movies. I love James Bond movies. So like, come on, like perfect combo pretty much for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as Sean Connery voices Fin Fang Foom, we're good.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'd be really into that. Yeah. That'd be perfect. Let's shift gears for a little bit here. Let's talk about Mark Ruffalo's comments at C2E2, Mav. Have you heard any about this? How much have you heard about what he said at C2E2?
I heard a little bit. I don't know. I feel like Mark Ruffalo feels like if this was Saved by the Bell, he's kind of Screech. He runs in. He's not a part of stuff, but he throws stuff out there and then just, he's kind of the side guy. I don't know how much they bring him in after he spoiled Endgame. I don't know how much they tell Mark Ruffalo anything.
Well, that's actually an interesting point. So as I was looking at the comments that he made, I was thinking about this. I actually think that he got some much better coaching about all of that. Because some of the stuff that they're saying, and I actually think apparently Tom Holland received the same thing, where Tom Holland received some actual coaching, because the story came out last week that he knew everything about the Sony Marvel deal, what Spider-Man's future was, and all this stuff. But within that article was mentioned that he has had coaching as to not spoil everything. And I think that that's probably the same thing that's going on with Ruffalo. However, we know for sure that he actually has met with Feige. The casting sheet and some of the evidence for She-Hulk suggests that he will be in She-Hulk. Now, what Mark said, and by the way, I'm going to do a kind of a deeper dive on all of this on the main channel. That'll be the first video that we do later today on the main channel. But just briefly, like talking about it here with you and everybody in chat, it's basically he said that he's in preliminary talks to be in She-Hulk, which kind of made me think, and this is just an interesting thing that I think goes on with the Marvel actors, is that they, of course, they love playing these characters, particularly Mark. I really think he loves playing Hulk. But there's got to be something weird about the negotiations for all of this because, like, I don't know what they pay for Disney Plus versus movie appearances or whatever, but I do know that Marvel is pretty notorious for doing a lower end deal with back end points available and not wanting to pay a ton of money to all these different actors, right? And so when Mark Ruffalo says, I'm in preliminary talks, to me, it kind of makes me think that, like, he's at this place where Marvel's going to come to him and be like, hey, man, you know you want to be in She-Hulk. We could really use you in She-Hulk. And Mark's like, yeah, I would totally love to be in She-Hulk. I want to be in She-Hulk. But Mark's agent is like, yo, dude, you need to say, you better back this money truck up. You know what I mean? Like, his agent's like looking at that 15% and is like, we need the big bucks. What do you think? Do you read into that at all? Because, like, didn't that happen with Tony where RDJ said something to the effect of, or RDJ's camp, rather, came out and said he has not been officially signed up to voice in What If. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't. Does seem kind of weird that it would be. It feels like it's late to say, oh, we started talking to Mark Ruffalo about the She-Hulk thing. It's been announced for how long now?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, whether that's story-wise, we want him to come in or some of this. Yeah, I think that lends more to the fact that this might be there's negotiations going on, and yeah, maybe he has received coaching and he's saying a couple things because I mean, you look at the Avengers and they all seem like, oh, we're just all family, like we're all family, we're Marvel family,
Yep.
and so for him to say like, yeah, I want to be in this show, I want to do that, to speak freely probably feels really normal. Yeah. And yeah, I think you're right. I think the agent's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You have to pull it back. Like, you're family, but you're not family. You're lowercase f family.
I think that's the whole right. I think that's the whole thing, and I think it gets a little weird over there with like the whole Disney treatment and Disney contracts and stuff like that too. I'm sure it's really strange, but I think they just I mean, like, here's the thing: you can't deny, if you're an actor within the MCU, particularly Ruffalo and a lot of these other people, that it's been huge for your brand. You know what I mean? It's been so big and so huge for your brand. I mean, even RDJ, if you think back, like, his contract was really crappy on the first Iron Man, and he's just really lucky that it worked out, and then he was able to make a much better deal moving forward. All the other actors are not like that. Everybody else in the MCU gets paid a pittance, and then they get back-end points, right? And that's everybody. So it's interesting, man. I know he wants to come back. I know he loves playing that character. I assume they will figure it out. They could do She-Hulk without him, though. He could get a blood transfusion, and you could do it without him. Either a body double like Leto in Birds of Prey or something, or just having it off camera, or his blood's already there or shipped there or something. They can figure it out without him. But this is an interesting part, too. What he said was he gave some clarity about the Universal deal. Okay, so the Universal has distribution rights for Hulk. This is why we have never gotten a solo Hulk movie since Norton. And even that movie, Universal had distribution rights, right? So he came out and basically explained that the Universal still has those distribution rights. We thought maybe that it got cleared up. It is not. So they cannot make another Hulk solo movie. But Mark Ruffalo literally said they can definitely do a Disney Plus movie, though. They can do Hulk Disney Plus. And his pitch for it was that he wants to continue. He wants Hulk to be on the road, and he wants to continue to have the Hulk Banner argument and play that out with Professor Hulk while they're on the road. And like, it was weird. Like, and this is why I'm gonna like kind of dive deep into this and do like a video later on the channel. I'm confused as to whether or not this series would take place before Endgame or not. Because it kind of sounds like Professor Hulk spins out of that, is what he's saying. But that, how can you have Hulk and Banner arguing if we already have Professor Hulk where they're kind of combined? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that?
Man, I think that would be such a cool arc for them, because at this point they can kind of do whatever they want with Hulk. I think a lot of people are, they're a little sad, if not irritated, if not angry. Hulk smash angry that he did not get his moment with Thanos, that he didn't
Yeah.
get to shine. He's one of the original six, and it feels like, and people forget he actually snapped everybody back, but that, it was off screen and nobody saw it. And the bird showed up with Ant-Man, but other than that, you didn't get any kind of anything with that in the scene. So it's sort of like he got the raw end of the deal.
Yeah.
So man, they could do whatever they want with the character. How cool would it be if he's having these weird dreams and he's just like, oh no, what's going on? And at night when he's asleep, Hulk comes out to play and it's just like raging Hulk.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like pulling back apart and he's even more powerful. I mean, they could do some really cool stuff with his arc. And I don't think a Hulk, how many times can you do the tortured, unmisunderstood monster trope for a movie? Like, I don't know if anyone's wanted like, oh man, we just need another Incredible Hulk. We need Incredible Hulk 2. I think he's always the best as a collaboration anyway. So I don't think the MCU is missing out on, we can't do another Hulk movie. He'd be great into Disney Plus. It would just be a shame if his arc ended real quick so that She-Hulk could shine. And then, we'd have to wait however many years before he shows back up. It'd be great if he was like the sagely, I'm Professor Hulk and I've done this for a while and let me help you out, almost like some sort of sitcom where you go see Grandpa Joe, Grandpa Joe, how do we get through this? Well, you got to do this little pep talk, and She-Hulk runs out and smashes a car or whatever.
Yeah. Look, those are awesome ideas. Like, here's the thing, and I see people talking about this in chat. A lot of people want the Savage Hulk back. They want like the real Hulk, right? And so like Ruffalo has this idea that he wants to do like an on the road show with Professor Hulk and continuing off that. I don't think many of us want that, to be honest with you. I think many of us want
Hulk, Incredible Hulk show. He just at the end, he's got his thumb out and
but town. I want Rage Hulk back. I want to get back to Hulk being savage, raging, and freaking out. And it's going to be really weird if we're about to maybe get into a world within the MCU where we've got She-Hulk, we're going to get Red Hulk, we're going to have Hulkling, and then we're going to have Professor Hulk. Man, Ragnarok Hulk was the best. The Hulk in Ragnarok was the perfect comic book Hulk to have in those moments and to do that. I would really love to get back to that. I don't know how that's going to work exactly. Maybe like they're together, but they're still sharing the brain and Hulk still needs to come out and be savage. Maybe like he's going to fix his arm and that'll put him back into Savage Hulk. I don't know. But I really want Savage Hulk back. And like Ruffalo's awesome. He's a cool guy. Like I think like I like him a lot, but like don't let him pitch any more stories. Like I don't really like I'm kind of over his interpretations and his
maybe they're saving him for Battle World.
Yeah, I mean that could totally be. They could bring in Savage Hulk for Battle World. There's all sorts of ways they could do with things they could do with Hulk, the Maestro, and all sorts of cool things you could do with Hulk. I heard there's some rumors out there that Brock Samson might be in She-Hulk, dude. Like green hair and all. Like just that would. I mean, and look, I could rock with that. I could
just
rock
family Hulk. It's like in the '80s when they'd make it's like Bionic Man family or Bionic Woman family, and they've got kids and a Bionic dog and a Bionic car. They just do that for She-Hulk. All the Hulks are here. Like you said, I just need them all having a family picnic. Red Hulk shows up. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I would be into that. All right, guys, look, we're about to make. It's time. We gotta make a big announcement. Okay, so we're gonna trickle into the theater. We're gonna lose Mav for a second, and then Mav will come back on, and we'll talk about this. But guys, we gotta trickle into the Den of Nerds theater. It's time. I gotta show you guys some really cool stuff. Okay, so let's trickle in. Let's trickle on in, guys. Is everybody in here? Stop pushing at the front. Stop pushing. Jesus. And then somebody's getting their popcorn everywhere. Oh, my God. You guys. I love you guys, but holy cow. Holy cow. Okay. This is a huge announcement. Have I told you how huge the announcement is? It's a huge announcement. There's no room, Renee. Look, standing room only. I'm sorry. Next time you got to get in here faster. Look, we're about to show you guys something really cool. Really cool. And this is going to be something we do a lot for the month of March, a really interactive thing that we wanted to do with you guys. The brainchild of executive producer Ryan H. We got a little trailer for you guys we're going to watch. And then I'm going to show you this this thing. And then we're going to talk about what it all means, okay? So here we go. Get comfy. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yes, that's right, guys. We are doing something called the Battle Bracket 2020. This is going to be a little tournament that we're putting on, okay? And everybody is going to vote for the matchups of these characters, okay? And you're to assume that they are fighting, but obviously it's a little bit of popularity contest as well. Going to pick the characters you want to win. And on top of that, we have a website. Ryan, can you put the link in chat, brother? We've got a website coming where you can actually fill out brackets, okay? Where you can fill out brackets, and we're going to literally give prizes away to the people that get the brackets completely correct, okay? If you get your bracket 100% correct, you will be entered in to win the grand prize of one of those big, awesome Infinity Gauntlet prop thingies. Big, awesome Infinity Gauntlet things. That will be the grand prize, but a bunch of other people will also win prizes, just Den of Nerds merchandise, okay? Now, this is how this is going to work. By the way, real quick. Tonight, our community stream at 8 p.m. is going to be all about this battle bracket. We are going to be talking about the battle bracket, sharing different opinions, talking about who we think will win, all of those sort of things, okay? So tonight's community stream is going to be a little bit different. We're just going to be talking about the battle bracket, right? Like, I think Gandalf's got Harry Potter. You know what I mean? I think he's got him, bro. You shall not pass, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard. Oh yeah, we totally stole Trinity's idea, absolutely. So check this out, guys. Look, the way this is gonna work, this is gonna be really cool. You can actually submit your brackets. We are doing this is how it's all gonna happen. Sorry, I'm too excited. Check this out. For this week, all the way until the show next Monday, there will be no actual fights, okay? So you have until next Monday to submit your bracket on the website that Ryan has put into chat, okay? Starting next Monday, the first fight is happening. It's going to be Spider-Man and He-Man, Okay? Now, the way this is going to work is we're going to have a poll on our Twitter. We're going to have a poll on our community tab on YouTube. We're going to have a Instagram post where people can vote by commenting. And we're going to tally all of that stuff together to decide who wins. Okay? We're going to decide. So each day, starting next week, there'll be a fight Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay? Then the next week, same thing, another fight. 16th, the 17th, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Then, final week, we'll do all the way to the finals, and then I think we'll have the final actually take until the 30th. Okay? So we won't know who wins until the 30th. And then you'll have all of your brackets. If you got the bracket 100% right, we'll be able to see it on the website. If, nobody, it's all a point system. So if nobody gets it 100% correct, we'll do whoever has the highest points, and we'll put them all in the drawing to win the gauntlet. But folks, this is going to be something that we do every March from now on. This is the first official one. Again, the brainchild of Ryan H., executive producer Ryan, put this all together. It's very, very cool. What do you guys think in chat? Let me know what you're thinking about this. And I mean, man, just look at this bracket. Look at this bracket. We got some good people in this bracket. Chet, where's the music? Jeez. Thank you. I mean, look at these matchups, man. Again, I'm not going to talk about it too much here. We're going to talk about all of these matchups and dig into it tonight at 8. So if you want to wait until after tonight and talk about your bracket, and before you release your bracket, you can definitely just come tonight, talk about the different fights. We can all talk about it, and then you can wait to do your bracket. I'm not going to do my bracket until probably the weekend because I want to just think about it. I want to think about what the fans are saying, what everybody's saying. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But how do we log in on the website? I'm not 100% certain. I'm thinking it's fairly simple, though, on there. I haven't actually filled out my bracket. We left Yamcha out? Yeah, I guess a little bit we did, huh? Guess we left Yamcha out. Well, we can see, and next time we can do sort of a different one as well. You know what I mean? Yes. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very fun. Indeed. Okay, so I'm going to bring Mav back in, and I want to talk to him a little bit about this, and then we'll get into some Q&A at the end of the show.
Sorry, I was filling in my bracket.
Oh, you're filling out your bracket already?
I was, planning. I was plotting.
Are you already pretty confident in who you think will win?
No.
Yeah, it's tough, right?
Not at all. Start looking at it, I'm like, maybe. And there's always the Batman beats everybody crowd anyway, so their bracket's pretty easy to fill out.
Well, look, yeah, for sure. I mean, look, that's the thing. There's the Goku beats everybody crowd. There's the Batman beats everybody crowd. Look, Luke Skywalker is a very popular character. I don't know how he could actually beat Goku, but I know that he could beat him in this tournament. You know what I mean? Depending on how many people we get over there.
It's true. I mean, okay, so nerd battles have been going on for how long?
Yeah,
for forever.
Yeah,
forever. You'd always, at any time when I was a kid, you'd have a sleepover, and you'd be like, okay, Superman versus Luke Skywalker, and it would be hours of arguing, throwing things, before you came to the conclusion that there's no conclusion. But of course, Luke Skywalker wins, and that's where you'd go. And now we get to do it in this all organized way. I'm excited to see who fills out a perfect bracket. I want to see who not only, because it's not only who's the geekiest, it's who can read the room, read the crowd, right?
Yeah.
This is voting, so there's a lot there. That's like uber nerddom right there.
Yeah, man. I'm totally with you. I'm super surprised and interested. That's the thing. Like, I'm thinking about like who I would think would win, but then it's hard because you got to think like, okay, but who's actually gonna get the votes? You know what I mean? And you got to also think. And look, I don't want to give too much away here. And we'll talk shop. Later tonight in the the community stream, and I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to see what other people are saying about this, because this is just we're just gonna have like an hour and a half tonight of just yelling at each other about who's better from these fandoms, which is gonna be great.
I want to know who's on Team He-Man all the way. Who thinks He-Man's gonna win? Because I want to find out who that nerd is.
Yeah, I want to find out who that nerd is too. I'm glad that He-Man is in there, but I see him as an underdog. But look, here's the thing. You can vote multiple ways, right? So people can vote on Twitter poll, they can vote on the community stream poll, and then they can go to Instagram and they can vote by commenting, right? So, hey man, He-Man fans, if you're out there, get some of your friends. Get some of your friends. Yeah, go spend some time, man. Get some votes going in there. You know what I mean? You can do it. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'm very excited. Oh, and you know what else, guys? Too, I should let you know. Ryan is gonna be on the stream tomorrow, and so Ryan himself will pick his brain a little bit tomorrow about the idea about all of that. So that is that's what we're doing in March, man. I am pretty excited about it. The Godfather says I'm bringing all the bots. Yeah, I believe it.
Someone's mentioning in here that there's no Conan, so they're.
I know. Look, that's a Captain. It's like a Captain Pennsylvania thing. It's like a kind of a meme at this point, where he's been so hype on Conan, like that it's just been a thing. And I saw like Trinity was talking about this too in chat, where he's like, "I'm unsubscribing because I know Conan." And yeah, I totally get it.
You can't have Conan just sweep the bracket. I mean, you gotta, there has to be some competition. So.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Conan will make his way into the next bracket of some kind. Yeah. And by the way, guys, if you like this kind of idea of like combining fandoms and stuff, we have some other really cool things that we're working on for later in the year that also involves a combination of fandoms and fun like that too. So yeah, plenty of really fun stuff in 2020 for us here at DOS Den of Nerds. But we got about 15 minutes left, guys. I'm gonna pop this Q&A. This, you know what this means? It's question and answer time. It's Q&A. Drop your questions into the chat, and we will get to your questions. Of course, you can drop a super chat if you want to support the channel. We'll answer every single super chat that comes in within reason. Within reason. And if you don't have any loot, don't worry about it. You don't got a super chat. Just drop your questions in, and we'll get to as many of those questions as we can in the next 15 minutes. I saw a question I want to get to right away in here, Mav. I saw a question earlier in the chat about New Mutants being in the MCU. Look, as far as I know, that was a typo. All those rumors stem from a typo that was done by a marketing website or like a cinema website or something like that. But yeah, New Mutants definitely not in the MCU. Like, unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something here, Mav?
There was discussion when the movie was reannounced and the trailer came out and those things that New Mutants is going to be somehow brought in, tied in, and so that became the rumor, the hot news for a moment. I just haven't heard anything after that. No one's reconfirmed it. You think there'd be? I mean, what comes out next month? Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Are the press tours? We haven't gotten anything since that was. But out there, you think that if it was connected to the MCU, there'd be a bit more of a hype machine around it.
I'm kind of interested. I don't even know why they are releasing that film theatrically. I know there were rumors that they were going to just Hulu it or put it out on Disney Plus. And look, Disney has had really bad luck with all of the Marvel or with all the Fox stuff that they've put into theaters. Right? So I don't know. It just seems like such a strange move. I can't imagine that movie does really great, but I did also hear that they had changed the film back into the director's original vision, that when Feige came over, he had sort of stripped away the tinkering that the studio did and allowed it to be the film that he wanted it to be. Maybe that's a little bit of a draw. Maybe people will check that out. But other than that, I don't really know. Let's see here. Can we do a quick recap of the Hulk news? Absolutely, Jake. So, Jake, also, you should know, I'm going to do a full video on this on the main channel. That's what I'm doing right after this, is digging in, researching, and making a fun piece of entertaining content that explains to you all the details of the Hulk news. But basically, the recap is he's in preliminary talks to be in She-Hulk. He'll probably be in at least one episode. The blood transfusion from the comics is likely to be in that show. He also talked about how Universal still has the distribution rights for the film, and so Marvel can't do a solo Hulk movie, but they can totally do a solo Hulk Disney Plus show. That might be coming, and he teased an idea that he had for that as well. So that's pretty much it for the news. Raise your hand if you want your question answered. Yeah, raise your hand. Let's see here.
Hector brought up in the chat. He mentioned Scar. Are we going to see Scar show up now with all these?
I would love for Scar to show up. I really would. In fact, I remember there was a rumor that the way they were going to introduce Wolverine into the MCU was kind of do the Hulk 180, Hulk 181 thing where he faces down with Hulk. But I was thinking, instead of doing that in Canada with Hulk, do it with Scar in the Savage Land. Like, just do a different version of that. Have this new Wolverine person go to the Savage Land and have it all do like that. That would be the way that I would do it. I seen a YouTuber who shakes their boobies for super chat. Is that within reason? Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, too. This is embarrassing, but I'm getting YouTube fat because all I do is sit in front of the computer and make YouTube. So I could probably do that a little bit, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, I think that's totally reasonable. Would Scar be the son of Valkyrie? That could work. That could certainly work. Well, Sauron in the Savage Land? Let's see here. Do you think they'll go with Spidey spoiling Eddie Brock's scoop Sin Eater story to get him in the Venomverse? I don't know. What do you think about that, Mav? Are they going to do that story or do something similar with Spider-Man in the Sony Marvel universe? Because I think they still want to introduce the rivalry between Spider-Man and Eddie. How do you think they can do that now?
Yeah, they kind of painted themselves into a corner by already doing the origin. They're going to have to find a fancy way to do it. And I just don't know if Sony has some fancy.
Right.
They're kind of their fancy kind of looks like the Kool-Aid Man sometimes. And just bust through a wall and go, here we go. And I don't know if they have the finesse to try to dance around what they already did. But I think they can still introduce Spider-Man in a cool way. I just don't think it's going to necessarily line up with what we were expecting, which can still be cool. It'll still be cool, and there's probably people that are a little upset or disappointed in some way, but they can still do it. They can do it all right. I think
they can figure it out. I don't know how they'll figure it out, but yeah, they can definitely do it. I don't. It's weird because that was one of the big problems with the Venomverse, in my opinion. Was doing Venom without Spider-Man is strange. And there could have potentially been a way that they did it before. And I know they shot a cameo scene with Tom Holland or whatever, and they could have figured it out. Maybe he spoils the scoop. Maybe Venom and Eddie have a falling out, and Venom goes to hang out with Spider-Man. And we see a different version of that arc and that story. So, yeah, I think they definitely need to do something. But I'm not convinced of how they could do it or what it should be.
I just don't know how they're going to do some of these crossover things where they'll do something. And how does Sony keep some continuity in their own universe with Spider-Man? If Spider-Man has to show up in the MCU and still just be regular MCU Spider-Man without all the stuff that's happened?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows exactly? It's an interesting. I don't know. If we knew how, I mean, I would definitely be running it. I'd be running it in a video. We'd be breaking it all down. Guys, how is the audio? I saw Jonathan said turn the music down. Trying to figure that out with having Mav in here and the music. Is this okay? Is this too loud? You let me know. You let me know in chat. Maybe we'll just kill the music while we're chatting in. So I saw another interesting question. Let's see here. Maybe I'll scroll up and try to find it. It was two different questions. I think the New Mutants will overperform. That's interesting. New Mutants, Feige didn't want to watch it, so changed it to make it canon. No. He wouldn't do that. Where was that question here? Let's see here. Well, Comic Sauce comes in with a super chat. It just says, keep up the hard work, guys. Thanks for all the info. Thank you, Comic Sauce. Appreciate the donation. And, yeah, we definitely need more likes. This is unbelievable. There should be 100 likes on this video simply because of the battle bracket.
Seriously. There was a question way earlier on where when we were still talking about Shang Chi, Could we see Ronan show up as sort of even just in the background, fighting in this battle royale?
Ronan? I don't
Like
know, man. I don't.
little
I don't
Clint
think.
Martin in there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that Ronan, not Ronan the Accuser. Yeah, no,
Yeah, we start
that
using
would
middle
make.
names now.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Yeah, no, that could be awesome. I'm really hoping we get him in Black Widow. I'd really love for him to be in Black Widow. I think that would be awesome.
Well, if we're
But
going to
yeah,
Budapest, we got to see.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that would really make a lot of sense to do that. Let's see here. Do you think Hulk will eventually be back in space? That could be cool. It could certainly be cool to do more space stories with Hulk. That's the thing. I personally think that we're at a place in the MCU now where they really do need to just sort of expand and do crazy stories, right? So, like, man, I think all these movies in Phase 5, like once we get past Phase 4 is introducing new characters and stuff like that. I think Phase 5, it's going to be a lot of event films. But then again, with Sony and stuff too, we're getting to this point where we have like 4 or 5 Marvel movies a year. You know? Like, we're going to be exhausted over here doing all of this content. But yeah, like it's, I don't know. I'll take Ronan the Accuser in the Shang Chi tournament. That would be pretty dope, honestly. That would be cool. Shang Chi is after Endgame, right? I do believe so. I don't know that we know that for sure, but I do believe so. Let's see here. Kraven's Last Hunt is one of my all-time favorite comics. Need to see Feige's adaptation of it in Spider-Man 3. I think that's possible. That's one thing we don't know a lot about is that third new Spider-Man movie. And I think if we knew more about that, it would really open up the floodgates of sort of all this other stuff that we don't know with regards to what's going on with Marvel and Spider-Man. Like, what are they really doing? Oh, here it is. 2 questions I have. Have you heard anything about WandaVision wrapping filming? And is that a good thing for the show? Okay, Freddie P., thank you for the question. Here's the deal. I have heard that, yes, WandaVision has wrapped filming. And also, I was just reading some stuff on Murphy's Multiverse where Charles Murphy was talking about how one of the things that surprised Marvel was how fast they can produce these shows. And so this is an experiment for them. This is a new thing for them, doing these Disney Plus shows. They have huge budgets, but it would appear they overestimated how much time it would take to actually shoot these shows. And so what Charles is thinking is that they're changing things. We're going to get Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel probably way sooner than we thought. Those could all drop next year. So I have heard that WandaVision wrapped. I don't think that's bad for the show. I think they've been shooting for the proper allowed amount of time. I'm sure there's a lot of VFX work for WandaVision. And that's not coming out until November or December. So, yeah, I think we've got plenty of time. And I'm not concerned about that at all. Mav, what do you think?
I think the shooting schedules for shows and TV are TV and movies, obviously very different scope, usually less locations, things like that. The production is just you can do it quicker, and a lot of the if you're using TV production crews, they're used to that kind of turnaround. I just got to get this thing through. I got to put this stuff up. They can increase the quality, but the shooting schedules are going to be shorter. I think these things are getting done faster because if they are all interconnecting as much as they are, the harder part of pre-production, the writing, the continuity, all those different things, has to be all done. Otherwise, they're all going to be stepping on each other's toes. And who knows how they're going to handle reshoots, if they're going to do reshoots, what that looks like. But yeah, I think that they're probably ahead of schedule at this point.
Yeah.
And who knows? And maybe it's a different caliber of actor too. You get some movie actors in here doing TV. They're getting stuff done a lot faster. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's an interesting sort of thing, man. I'm they probably allowed more time for these productions, just thinking about all the little changes and things like that. And they probably just realized, they were like, wow, this is kind of, at least from productions as a production, that is way less intensive than they thought. And I'm sure like the editing and post-production process is still going to be lengthy, but like probably still way shorter than you would even do for a film, even though it's technically more screen time, right? So like Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably around 6 hours of actual screen time, but from the editing perspective, I don't know. I just feel like it's probably a lot cleaner. It's a lot less crazy. There's less, you know, blow up crazy Avengers type CGI and stuff. So yeah, I think that it's probably way easier. And also, too, I think it's worth noting that Marvel Studios is a company that's incredible at making films. They're so good at making movies. Like they make movies like TV shows at this point. Like they're really ahead of the curve in a lot of different ways. So it doesn't surprise me.
I think one of the points that'll probably come out in discussions or other videos and things is there pressure from Disney Plus to say, hey, we have to keep subscribers, we got to move the schedule up, we have to keep an original series on deck, so you're getting an original series releasing every 2 to 3 months, so they can keep their subscriber count high.
Yeah.
Right. So as one's finishing, another one pops up in 2 weeks. If you plan it right, most people are not going to cancel their subscription. Do they just go, hey, guys, we're going to have to tighten these things up and push them together a little closer? They're going to say like, oh, maybe that's why. Maybe Disney Plus, the bean counters are saying that it's failing. Our subscribers are going away. We have to save it. Have you seen any numbers on Clone Wars? Has Clone Wars helped with some of the people left after Mandalorian?
Well, so it's weird. Like those numbers it's interesting to see how they're even releasing those numbers and talking about that. Like that's all private information. I don't think they need to publicly release any of that. But all we know is that at the last investor call, Iger said that they had like something like 28 million current subscribers on Disney Plus. And who knows how many of those dropped off after Mando and how many came back. But I kind of get this feeling, particularly because they did a lot of those big deals to save and have people sign up for a full year. So they restricted price on a year subscription. They did deals with Verizon where you can get it for a full year. This is all just to pad their numbers, because I think they knew in the first year the content was going to be a little shaky. Like we had Mandalorian, but nothing really. There's nothing really coming out until once these MCU shows start ramping up. And of course, Mandalorian season 2. But it's like once the back end of this year hits, it's insane. Like the amount of content that's going to be coming out of there is going to be insane. And it's content that people really care about. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've got kids, so we're keeping Disney Plus. But even with the kids side, there's new kid TV shows coming out ever so often, enough to where if I didn't dig it, my kids will, So I think that's another thing to think about too.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. They're going after sort of a different demographic, I think, in a lot of ways. And I think that particularly at the price point that it's at, it's a soft set it and forget it kind of thing. And they're probably raking in a lot of subs that way from that kind of a model. Let's just do like a couple more questions real quick. Let us see here. Been watching the new season of The Sinner. It's based on his performance so far. Matt Bomer would be a great candidate for Moon Knight. That's awesome. I haven't watched that at all. I'm not familiar. Let's see here. Do you think they'll introduce Fantastic Four and or X-Men or how do you think they'll introduce them? Well, I think the mutants are actually still going to be sprinkled throughout. I saw someone say, you think Feige's going to Salt Bae us with mutants? And I absolutely do think that. I think that we will get some mutants in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is crazy. And like, that's so crazy to me. Like I was reading some stuff about that Charles had written about that, where he can't believe that more people haven't picked up on that. And the fact that Madripoor is in there, it's like insane. So I think that's what's going to go on. But as far as Fantastic Four, I think they will just do a Fantastic Four movie, possibly reveal them in Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 or Ant-Man 3 or whatever, but probably do their own thing with Fantastic Four, whether it be a show or a movie. Mav, what do you think about that?
Is there a possibility they could drop in a Johnny Storm into the background of Shang-Chi, or kind of drop some of these characters in to say they're around and you have no connection and we find out later?
I think we need an explanation as to why the Fantastic Four haven't been active. The rumors are that they've been sort of trapped in limbo or the negative zone, and they're going to be revealed. I think that's actually pretty important. For other characters like mutants, maybe not. Maybe it's not so important. Maybe mutants have already been around, but they haven't been. It hasn't been, crazy coronavirus level, so people aren't talking about it. But they've known about it. But I think with Fantastic Four, particularly because Reed is so smart that he would have figured out a lot of these problems, it's just hard for me to believe that he's around with some of these things going on and he doesn't act. So I think they need to do something different with Fantastic Four than they do with the mutants. But that's just kind of my opinion. Russell Wells says, any news on the Hawkeye show? Hawkeye is set. I think they found their Kate Bishop. Can't confirm that 100%, but they're apparently moving forward with shooting as scheduled. And also, Russell, forgive me if in the next few videos you only have one L in your name in the post video thing. I'm gonna get that fixed, but might not get it fixed 100% right away. So I apologize about that. Marvel likes to use at least one post credit scene to set up blah blah blah. How do you see Black Widow connecting to Eternals and Eternals to Shang Chi, and or will they use Disney Plus for that too? Okay, last question. We'll go over this. What I think they're going to do is they're going to have post-credit scenes that go to Disney Plus and Disney Plus post-credit scenes that go to the MCU. I think that's the way they're setting up these things. I think Black Widow's post-credit scene goes into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think, as crazy as it sounds, Falcon and the Winter Soldier might lead into Eternals or something like that, or have some kind of Eternals thing. And then maybe Eternals will set up WandaVision in some way. But that's the way I see it. But that's just my opinion. What do you think, Matt?
Man, this year is the test to see how well streaming shows, movies, all interconnect, overlap.
Yep.
For some people, WandaVision is a big long trailer or tease for the multiverse. It's or not trailer necessarily, but it's marketing, right?
Yep.
For a lot of people. It gets them to the theater. So it'd be interesting to see if they see a bump in some of these movies that, like Ant-Man 3, whenever it comes out, if it sees a big bump because of something that happens before in a streaming show.
Yeah. This is all experimenting. They're all figuring this out. But yeah, that's kind of the way I see it going down. And we've heard, of course, that they want to do some kind of a show that sort of complements the movies, right? So you've got, your WandaVision going into Doctor Strange 2. Loki might lead into Doctor Strange 2 as well. And then there were rumors they were going to do some kind of secret invasion show that led into Captain Marvel 2. I think that's a brilliant way to utilize that sort of stuff. And maybe we'll be getting post-credit scenes in both properties. I don't know. I think that's what's going to go on. But Phase 4 is an interesting phase because, yeah, they're experimenting a lot. They're learning a lot. We're going to be getting so much content. It's like crazy town. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I appreciate the questions. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of the stream this morning. Make sure you check out the regular channel later today where I'll deep dive on all that Hulk, Mark Ruffalo news. And tonight at 8 p.m., we're talking about the battle bracket. The battle bracket, guys. It is going to be awesome. I can't wait to argue with all the nerds tonight about that. So make sure you come on back for 8 p.m. tonight. That's going to do it for us here for the morning stream, guys. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And we will see you in the next video. Chat, play that outro that we made, that we definitely have. What do you mean we don't have it?